Just Stop Oil on Twitter. Tez Burns, 35, was arrested for gluing to the gate outside the Royal Court of Justice yesterday, taking a stand against the injustice of injunctions. Unlike Cal, who has been remanded to prison, Tez has now been released on bail. Right, because Tez refuses to use he or her pronouns. I even hate talking about pronouns at this point, but because of that, and the really stupid name, I'm going to assume I can guess what Tez looks like. Without even showing you the picture, I'd assume someone called Tez Burns. Looks like they cut the hair with garden shears whilst wearing boxing gloves. Dyes it a stupid colour for reasons completely unknown to me, and has 5 or 6 random bits of metal stuck in Tez's face because apparently making yourself look like a human train wreck it's in fashion nowadays. When I was a kid, you just tried to make yourself look good, but now they actively seem to want to look like knobheads on purpose, which is a novel approach. I like it. Let's have a look at Tez, shall we? Jackpot. Ding, 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 ding. Cheers then. I called that one right. Not only does Tez look like exactly as you would have expected, look how Tez is dressed. If I went pissed to the local Salvation Army hostel and started pulling clothes out of the clothing bin at random, I'd be able to dress myself better than Tez managed. So today we're going to listen to what Tez has to say. I'm going to ruthlessly mock Tez and then make a couple of salient points about the stupidity and inanity of the entire movement that honking bit of kit claims to represent. So let's have at it. Right then, let's listen to Tez. Come on, Tez, tell me your intelligent and no doubt well thought out manifesto, please. Illuminate us all.
My name is Tez Burns. I'm 35. I got arrested yesterday outside the Royal Court of Justice for gluing onto the gates peacefully, in full knowledge that there was a way round for other people to access the building. We weren't disrupting significantly or seriously, whereas we've been arrested under the 2023 Public Order Act, which prevents for locking on. Me and my friend Cal Good were glued to each other outside of the Royal Courts of Justice, and we were arrested for that peaceful protest, took into custody yesterday, remanded to court today. Now, I have been released, where Cal has been imprisoned again without trial for peaceful protest, for holding hands with me whilst glued to a fence. Now, to me, that seems incredibly oppressive of peaceful political protests here in this country, and it's a sign that what we are doing right now is having an effect.
Yeah, it's having an effect on my sanity, Tez, you absolute psycho. Also, why does Tez put on an unnaturally deep voice for no reason? She just made I'm assuming it's a she, trying to put on a deep voice like, alright, my name's Tez. Just made herself sound like she had a touch of the downs, just a touch. The one thing Tez is right about is the UK justice system is an absolute joke. I'm sure probably because Tez is nominally a woman and Cal's probably a bloke, so they just arbitrarily decided Cal wanted locking up all night and Tez didn't. Frankly, I'd have stuck them both in a very small cell with Randy Ron, or perhaps, because these people don't have an original thought in the head. Just by looking at Tez, you know what Tez thinks about everything. Everything. Doesn't matter whether you're talking about economics, abortion, gun control. Tez will weigh in on gun control in the United States. And we know what Tez thinks. Because these people are just printed off a production line. They are the NPC meme made manifest. And the other thing I will say is they are all uniformly posh. Have you noticed that? All of them. It reminds me of when Katie Hopkins got accosted by one of them when she was walking with Gerard Batten a few years ago. I'm sure you remember that one, but for those of you that don't, she starts questioning him about what school he went to, because as we know, it's just a class warfare by another name. It's a hobby for middle class and upper class arseholes to try and make themselves seem more important because they've got all of the money and the privilege compared to a bricklayer from a council estate. They also want the victim points as well. They like to make themselves feel put upon. So they're all Posh, uniformly. She asks him what school he want to, and well, watch the video. See him clam up instantly, because you know for a fact he went to boarding school, don't you?
Having spent the morning with Gerard Batten, we were accosted by a climate change protester whose camera crew and himself didn't seem to like it when I asked a simple question about his posh boy upbringing. Can I ask you a question, just to interrupt the constant monologue of you talking? There's this perception I have where I live, and it's a place called the rest of the UK, that climate protesters are massively overprivileged and kind of posh kids, and you seem to be falling straight into that for me. Okay. So can you explain to me why it is that it seems to be almost a luxury of the privileged that live in London to dictate to the rest of us what we should and shouldn't be allowed to do?
We're not dictating to anyone.
It feels that way. No, I'm just asking you about this idea of privilege. So like your hero and pin-up, Greta, is actually a very privileged individual with privileged parents. You, it sounds to me, are a privileged individual. Can I just check where you went to school?
No.
Can I ask where you went to school?
Absolutely not.
Did you go to a nice boarding school?
Does it matter?
Yeah, I'm just asking. You've been asking Gerard a lot of questions, and I've only asked you one. Yes, I've only asked you one question. I just want one answer. Just before we move forwards, I just want one answer to one question. And I'm just asking, where is it you went to school? So one question, Gerard's just answered. Gerard has just answered 15 of your questions very politely. You're stalking us in the pavement with your plastic wrapped flowers, my little posh friend. Yes, no, well then answer my one question. Where did you go to school, my little posh friend? Just one question. No, just one question. It's all I've asked. Gerard's answered 15. I'm just asking for one question whilst you hold your plastic wrapped flowers. Oh, now your cameraman's joining in. Anyone got an answer?
What colour's your underwear? I don't give a fuck.
I don't have any underwear. I don't wear pants. I don't wear pants. I can show you that too if you like.
That's irrelevant.
I'm just no. Does he need your help? He needs your help. Two boys against one girl.
I love that. You can see by his face. Look how ragged he is there. That, my friends, is the face of a posh boy who doesn't want to admit that he's called Tarquin and he went to private school. And then his posh boy cameraman joins in. What a pair of dickheads. So yeah, more of the same. As I keep telling you, don't allow these people to talk down to you. It's a hobby for privileged knobheads because they've got nothing else to do because they don't have to go to work. The movement is inane. It doesn't make any sense on the face of it. We haven't got the ability, the technology, or the interest, frankly, in changing our entire way of lives and immiserating ourselves because the UK especially is about 2% of global emissions. Their entire argument is farcical. It's a hobby for posh kids. Don't listen to them. But that's just what I think. If you can't do maths and you think that the climate change movement is a sensible one and it makes loads of sense for Scottish people to immiserate themselves while the Chinese multiply like wet gremlins, you tell me why it's a good idea in the comments. All right, thanks for listening. See you all very soon. Toodle pip. Cheers.